Daycares are struggling with a shortage of qualified workers. It's so bad, some agencies say it threatens to derail the federal government's $10 a day childcare plan. It calls for creating 250,000 new childcare spots by 2026. All provinces and territories have signed on. Ontario alone says it needs to hire 15,000 people to staff 86,000 new spaces. But recruiting and retaining early childhood educators is difficult due to low pay and poor benefits. Martha Friendly is Executive Director of the Child Care Resource and Research Unit, a policy think tank. She says multiple factors need to be addressed.
Putting it in perspective, the crisis in staffing didn't originate with the pandemic or with the new child care program. This has been a problem for years. But that being said, it's certainly true that the existing services are having trouble getting qualified staff, and you see that every day, one way or the other. But then comes the question of expanding spaces to accommodate more children as fees are dropping, and then you really have a situation where we have a crisis and we're trying to build a childcare system at the same time. So that really, sums up why it's a problem. I mean, it's a substantial problem. We have never had a childcare system in Canada where we had public funding enough to cover decent wages for the people working in it. The people working in childcare, qualified early childhood educators, are the program. Without them, you don't have a quality program. If you don't have anybody who will work there, you don't have any program. So as public money is being infused now to reduce parent fees, we still have the problem of the educators who we need to work there. Still, it's the value of their work isn't being represented in terms of how much they get paid. And that's only the central problem, because associated with it, if you look at it from a comprehensive perspective, which I think you need to look at other issues. You need to look at, is it a decent job? Are there good working conditions? Is there support for the work? Are there career ladders? So somebody with a diploma who looks forward to getting a degree or even a master's degree in early childhood can envision a better job. And you put these things together and it kind of comes, the way I always think about it is, we don't make enough money and we don't get enough respect, I think would really sum it up. And it needs a comprehensive solution as a core part of this Canada-wide childcare program that everybody is trying to build across the country. Where the impact has been thus far, don't forget, this is only the first year of a long building period. So parent fees have dropped. So that was a deterrent to parents using childcare. But as they have dropped, the demand is going up, and people are coming back from the pandemic and saying, well, I'd like to have childcare, that kind of childcare for my child as well. So, if you put those things together, it does add up to a need for more people than we are able to encourage into the profession and retain, because the retention is one of the main parts, just for the existing services, and then building out from there. So it's a matter of things like it's not just how many early childhood educators are we turning out. That's a part of it, but then the question is what happens after that? And one of the things that we know is that the pay and the working conditions are not enough, particularly in light of the pandemic, to keep people working in it. And that has been identified for years as probably the core. It's not the only problem. It's a complex problem, and it's a Canada-wide problem.
Martha Friendly is Executive Director of the Child Resource and Research Unit in Toronto.